What's up, everyone? Steven with Herd Homes Real Estate here in Orange County, California. And in today's episode of the podcast, I want to talk to you about how to deal with unrealistic buyers using the weekly showing report. Okay? So, we've all dealt with unrealistic buyers as real estate agents. Doesn't matter how well spoken you are, doesn't matter how articulate you are, doesn't matter if you have a degree in economics, it doesn't matter if you've sold 4,000 homes. Many buyers are very unrealistic and they can be a real challenge to deal with. Well, I was starting to think through in the past few years, how do I solve this problem? Or how do I focus on what I can control and mitigate it as much as possible? And what I came up with was the weekly showing report. So it's this concept that I update my sellers every week. I walk them through how many people looked at the home, what the feedback was, what's happening in the market, and my personal recommendations. And I thought, why am I not updating my buyers each week, the active buyers that I'm working with, and sharing them the same information? How many homes we looked at, what their feedback was, what happened to those homes, and ultimately what's going on in the market. So here's what I've learned. And this, by the way, I use this with buyers that I have more than a casual one-time showing relationship with. So if I'm showing them homes consistently, they are pre-approved and they're actively searching for a home. Because many times these unrealistic buyers, we are actively searching for homes and they just get in their own way with their crazy expectations. So obviously, a lot of this is dealt with in the buyer consultation. But above and beyond the buyer consultation, every Monday, I will send a report out to my active buyers. It'll be an email and it'll be a spreadsheet of the homes that we've looked at. So here's the number one thing that I put in that weekly showing report. I go through I send them a list of all the homes we've looked at. On one column is the address. On the one column is the date and time we looked at it. And on the next column was their personal feedback. And then on the next column is what happened to the home. Now, while the housing market was really insane between March 2020 and about March 2022, when I had an unrealistic buyer, I would show them, hey, we've looked at 12 homes, and then right in that report, it shows, here's every single home that we looked at sold for how much above the listing price. This actually brought my buyers to reality very quickly. They're like, wow, of the 12 homes we saw, on average, they're selling between $50,000 and $75,000 above the listing price, some as high as $200,000 above the listing price. But seeing that feedback every week really brought them to a place of, oh my gosh, every single home we looked at visually, I can see is selling for above the listing price. The second thing I include in that weekly showing report is a mini market update. So I subscribe to a local report here in Orange County. It's called the Stephen Thomas Orange County Housing Report, and it shows the levels of housing supply and the levels of housing demand. So how many houses are on the market? Is it going up or down? Where is it based in the last few years? And same thing with demand. Is there more pending sales or less pending sales on a 30-day period? And so I include that in that weekly showing report, and I really help them understand, I really show them, hey, inventory is going down right now. So during 2020 to 2022, I would show them on this chart that inventory is going down every single week. And so it really helped in my conversations explaining to them, you guys, inventory is actually trending downward right now. That means if we don't find a home for the next 2 months, right now there's 4,000 homes for sale in Orange County. In about 2 months, there's going to be about 3,000 homes for sale. That means less options, and every day your buying power goes lower and lower. So that's the second thing that I include in the report. And then the third thing that I include in the report are some of the things that I'm proactively doing to find them listings. So I'll say, by the way, I have reached out to this many neighborhoods, I have door knocked, or I have called listing agents in these areas to try to find off-market properties for you. So I'm updating them on what I'm doing to find homes for them, which keeps a really good relationship because they can see how hard I'm working. And believe it or not, they will start to feel obligated to buy. They're like, wow, this is what's going on in the market. This is what's going on with all the homes we looked at. And Steven's working his butt off to find us a home. Maybe we are being a little bit unrealistic. And usually, if I'm working with a husband and a wife, usually the husband will recognize it and he'll try to lead the wife into, okay, maybe we need to adjust our criteria. The last final hack in this. So that's the three things that I put in the weekly showing report. Now, here's a bonus script for you guys. When I meet in that buyer consultation, I let them know this. One of the things that's going to happen is we're going to go out and we're going to look at a lot of properties. And in a market where inventory is going down and prices are going up, the longer we're out there in the searching phase, the more money you're going to end up paying for a home. So what we're going to do is we need to be really fast in this market. And, side note, I go through a lot of information in my buyer consultation to make sure they're ready to move fast. But getting back to the script, so we're going to have to move really fast in this market. So the first thing that we're going to do is in 3 weeks, we're going to set the time right now. If we haven't found the home that we love, we're going to have another Zoom meeting where we're going to recap the expectations, see if anything has changed, and see if what we're looking for is a realistic object or if it's a unicorn. And if it's a unicorn, we know we're going to have to pay $200-300 above the listing. And you guys already said you didn't want to do that. So let's have a realistic plan and move forward. Sound fair? So that's my bonus script for you guys. That way they understand that, hey, there's going to be a conversation if we're not finding the right home. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Guys and gals, this is my 3-step process for the weekly showing report for my home buyers, plus a bonus tip. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and like this video. Thanks a lot.